Hi guys, welcome to my channel Mustard Vibrations. I'm Nairi and I'm going to be talking about spiritual growth, but specifically starting off with Enneagrams for this first series. So I was introduced to the Enneagram just over a year ago when I started working for this awesome company, Sage Natural Wellness. Everyone from the bottom up to our founders has taken this test and they know what type they identify with. So this is a tool we use for personal growth, which we're really focused on at Sage, but also for positive interactions with our team members and our community members. So I'm still pretty new to the Enneagram. I have a whole lot to learn. If you have any information you'd like to share with me, I'd be so happy to hear from you. So for this first video, I'm just going to do a brief intro to the history of the Enneagram. We're going to talk about how it can benefit you, and I'll just go off each of the 9 types. So to start, the Enneagram is often disputed, like the origins are very hard to distinguish, but we do know it goes back thousands of years ago. You can see the symbolism in sacred geometry, and the Pythagoreans who were interested in the deeper meaning of numbers. This information was passed down through Plato and his disciples. So you can see the Enneagram in many religions, from Judaism, Hinduism, to Christianity. So it's rooted all around the world, which I think is pretty neat. I'm gonna dig deeper in a future video and give you a more detailed history of the Enneagram and lay out a solid timeline. But more recently, and I hope I'm not butchering this name, we have Gurdjieff, a Russian teacher, philosopher who used the Enneagram to explain all of reality. And then you also have Ikazo, also a teacher, who uses the Enneagram to explain and understand the human psyche. So this is something we're more familiar with when talking about the Enneagram, as it's all 9 personality types. So yeah, that's a little bit with the history of the Enneagram, deep roots, and for each of the 9 types. So I'm going to start with number 1. This is a part of the instinctive center. So number 1 is the perfectionist. Number 2, and this is moving on to the feeling center. Number 2 is the helper. 3, the achiever, and 4, the individualist. I myself am a 4. Okay, and moving on to the thinking center, we have number 5, the investigator, 6, the loyalist, and 7, the enthusiast. And then back up to the instinctive, we have 8, the challenger, and 9, the peacemaker. So it's important not to take these labels too seriously. They're just given to kind of give you a very brief understanding of what that type could look like. So don't put yourself in the box. The Enneagram is meant to do exactly the opposite. So in future videos, again, we're going to go into each of the 9 types in detail. We're going to talk about fixations, tri-types, and all that fun stuff. Lastly, how can the Enneagram benefit you? Well, in multiple ways, if you ask me. Not only is it great for personal growth and spiritual growth, knowing like why you are the way you are, but also having more positive interactions with your friends, family, and strangers. So for me, it's made it a lot easier to communicate with certain types of people, and understanding how I can help others and benefit myself and those around me even more so. So if you haven't taken the Enneagram test, or you don't know what you are, do some research. There's so many resources out there in books, on the internet. You can take tests. There's multiple free ones online. I'll link you in the box below a few places that you can take these tests and find some information. Anyways, I hope this has been somewhat informative for you guys. Like I said, we're going to get into a lot more detail in future videos to come. Anyways, ciao chicos!